Under 2 hours to racing for day 4 of the America's Cup. Or is it? Looking very light on the racetrack at the moment. But we're here to talk you into racing and just what you can expect for day 4 of the 36th America's Cup. It's 3 races apiece to Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender, and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, the official challenger of record and the challenger. This is your AC Chat and Rap Show. My name's Nick Douglas. So great to be bringing you into day 4 of racing. And who could have picked that it would be 3-all? We've been excited about it. We've hoped for it. We all wanted it to be tight. And it is, which is just so exciting. And what is also exciting is that we have our sailor girl on the ground in Auckland, Tor, on the line. Tor, how are you going? What's the vibe like down there? Hang on 1 second and I'll unmute you so we can all hear you. There we go.
Hello, how are you?
Good. You ready to rock?
I am. I'm diving in the village today. Not going out on the water. Thought we'd enjoy the vibe in the village. So I'm down at the Silo Park just now where they've got music on and food and Maori art and carvings for the kids and all sorts. It's really busy. It's fun. The boats have docked out in the last hour or so, and I've never seen this part of Auckland so packed.
Oh, so
before,
exciting.
Ever.
Oh, so good.
Exciting.
And we saw a few pictures last night on my live show of just how packed and amazing the village was looking. I was lucky enough to have, a few shots sent to me by another sailor girl, Sue Bunce. This is the finish when Emirates finished race 6 yesterday. It was packed.
Amazing.
Had a great time on the water too, Tor.
Oh, it was so cool. After the first race, obviously everything was a bit mellow. I'm sure you were talking about it last night, but it did feel like the serve, so to speak, had been broken, and everyone was a bit like, "Oh no, that's not good." And then, second race that we were like, "Oh my goodness, it's gone back the other way." So everything we were saying about port entry, well, it still stands. It's still 4 out of 6, but it was so exciting to see some different starts and different boat winning from the other side. So we loved it, and the noise on the water after they finished that second race was amazing. Everyone had their foghorns out there. Oh, they had jet skis going around handing out mum champagne, and it's quite
so
funny.
Good. Oh, I'm so jealous
good.
of the action. And today, though, different day. It's a little bit lighter than we thought it might have been yesterday. We thought it might be a carbon copy today of yesterday, all but.
Yeah, it's surprisingly light and surprisingly hot and muggy down here in the village. There's a little bit of breeze. The flags are just flying, but it's not looking good actually.
Oh gosh, well, to talk a little bit more about the weather and just what we can expect today, I might have to get our weather guy on the line. Weather guy, are you there, weather guy?
Yes, Nick. Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. You got a frown on your face, weather guy. What's going on?
Perplexed. Don't know what's going on with the weather. You're asking the wrong-
That's no good. It's looking a little light, isn't it?
Yeah, I got up this morning. It looked okay, but it's kind of faded as the day has worn on. And I checked down the Bay of Plenty. It was pretty light. Takapuna Beach webcam looks very light.
I've got that up for you now. Three knots or something at Takapuna at the moment. That's not so good.
Yeah, I mean, if they run a course straight northerly through the Rangitoto Channel, there's a possibility they'll get something there. But, if you're a race organiser, you don't really like the doubtful and the low velocity winds, do you?
No, it's a little bit scary. So I'm just going to bring up onto the broadcast for everyone, the predict wind forecast at 1600 hours today. and it's very much down underneath that 5-knot wind range. We need 6.5 knots to race, don't we, weather guy?
Yeah, I believe so. And the discretion really comes down to the race officer and his team. But if there's going to be problems, it'll the next few days isn't looking great either. So we're going to have to be a bit patient with this, I think.
Could be very tricky. I'm just showing the course map now for everyone. It's a little bit of a hybrid of A that you can see here and B on the actual Predict Wind. I love how they've got the courses actually into Predict Wind. Well done to Predict Wind. Shout out to them. But this is the course map for today. They're going to do exactly what you said, weather guy, and try and put that course into the Rangitoto Channel, hopefully get a bit of funneling with the sea breeze close to both those bits of land there potentially. Is that what they're thinking?
Well, it's the best hope, really, and if the wind stays stable, I mean, it's not going to change much in direction if there's any velocity at all, but you know what it's like. You can sit out there and wait sometimes. Yeah,
hurry up and wait, we call it. But I do have the synoptic chart for you too, weather guy. You are in New Zealand, Tor and you are sitting under this big high pressure. Meanwhile, I'm up above you guys in Australia. You can see that big, long cold front. It's absolutely pouring down here. So I'm sucking all the breeze over my way, basically, out of that high pressure. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think anticyclone weather system is sitting a bit lower than it would normally sit in latitude. And that means we're in the top fringes of it and probably not going to get the stuff we need that we would normally expect this time of year, Nick.
Copy. And at 1500 hours, it's not much better. And I believe, I'm just going to get Tor back up on the screen as well. Tor, I believe we can't actually have racing after 1600 hours. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's right, and they won't run a race unless there's been a 5-minute average of 6 knots.
Copy, yeah, 6.5, I think it is.
6.5, is it?
Yeah.
So it needs to be constantly above that for 5 minutes, which it looks like it would be a struggle to do at the moment.
Yeah, so weather guy, that's obviously why you've got a frown on your face. It might not be the best day, but I think I can make you smile. It's still 3-all. How exciting. Did you think the Cup would get to 3-all?
I don't think anyone did really because of what history tells us, Nick, but certainly with these boats, they're very, very tricky to sail well, and there's a lot of people being very critical of mistakes that are being made, but I said to someone, think of yourself as ice skating on Stanley blades, and that'll give you some idea, especially in the light weather.
100%. So, well, that put a smile on your face, weather guys, so that's good to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can appreciate that these guys are the best we've got, in the world. And Jimmy and Peter and his boys. And, yeah, I mean, if anyone can do it, they can. And the little slip-ups that happened yesterday were more a function of just circumstance more than lack of ability.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of dirty air as well. These things, we're not really used to sailing them. So I think I'm going to go and talk about a few of those things with Tor, weather guy. But it's so nice to have you on the line. Thank you for all of your insights. And hopefully this frown that you had on earlier stays upside down for a little bit longer today. And we can keep you smiling into tomorrow. Thanks, weather guy.
Mate. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too, mate. Awesome. Well, the weather guy's gone now, Tor. It's awesome to have his insights. How are you feeling about the whole thing? Do you know, overnight, I got a lot of messages actually saying to me, gosh, this Cup is boring. Gosh, this is boring. This is so boring on my Facebook page. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of that, and I can see where they're coming from in a way. I think maybe it's only become clear once they've started racing these boats how difficult it is to have any way to get past the boat in front, and just because the wind shadow is so big, it would be really interesting if they would show us, it's sort of visually how long that wind shadow is, because when they're going these speeds, we know how they usually look when you're going upwind at normal speeds on a normal monohull, but it must go out miles out the back, and it just shows. What is interesting is that when the Kiwis are behind, they seem to be able to hang on a bit more than the Italians do. For I'm not sure what reason exactly. The Kiwis go to mode upwind seems to be a little faster and wider, and the Italians higher, so maybe they struggle a little bit more when they're in the dirty air. I'm not sure, but yeah, for sure that's the main takeaway. I still don't think it's boring. The pre-starts are pretty exciting. It was funny yesterday when I was out in the water. People were either cheering like they'd won it or sad, just after the gun goes for the start, which is quite interesting. When there's another 20-25 minutes of the race over, you can basically celebrate when they've gone over the start line, which seems a bit wrong. Also in that in most sports, crossing the start line is literally just, well, it is the start of the race, but it's starting to feel like it's the end of the race as well now.
Yeah, it's interesting for me, because I still find it incredibly exciting. And even though it seems like then it's all over, that's only if these guys continue to sail perfectly. And that's the thing. These sailors are at such a high level that they're sailing the boats near perfectly. But I think you are exactly right. Emirates Team New Zealand are faster and footing off upwind, especially in the lighter air. So, I mean, my main takeaway is Emirates are faster. Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli are, though, able to stay in between Emirates and the next mark and match race them to the playbook if they can get in front of the start line. So if Luna Rossa can win the start, they can win the race. If Emirates... if Emirates are out in front, they're just gone. It's like, see you later. So it'll be really interesting to see how the Cup unfolds, because it will all come down to the pre-start, and we've seen that for so many years in match racing. So I think my message to everybody is, to anybody who's saying that this is boring, well, if you want to change it, you've got to actually back it up and come and help and do what we're all doing and cover the sport, or you have to get some of your mates involved to watch this so that we can make sailing more popular and actually get people on board. I mean, I can tell you now, people don't walk away from the F1 going, God, that was boring. They go, gosh, that was an interesting race because such and such got out in front and they managed to hold that lead the entire way and race perfectly. So I really think everyone needs... I'm getting on my soapbox here. I really think everyone that thinks it's boring needs to remember that we're all ambassadors for sailing right now, and I need you to go out there and tell everybody how cool sailing is so that we can make it a better sport for everyone. So, soapbox finished.
Yeah, well, for sure. And the fact that these boats are so close and this is just changing race on race on race is actually amazing as well, because at the end of the day, this rule was put out 3-4 years ago, and they've all gone away and done their own thing. Obviously, some recon and things involved in that, but they're so close. And I think even at this stage, if we were doing round robin style with Ineos and maybe even American Magic, I reckon it would still be going down to the starts, and it just shows that maybe Ineos weren't that far behind either. It's just when you do get behind after the start, you can't get past. And we were seeing similar distances between Luna Rossa and Ineos that we were seeing between in this regatta as well. So very cool that they're all so close, and just makes it even more exciting for next time.
100%. It is incredible that you can give a complicated math problem with a million possible outcomes to these 4 teams, and they can all go away and come up with a solution that's so similar. I think that is a testament to how far our sport has come and how far everybody's pushing everything, that they're getting to a similar solution, which is really exciting and fantastic for our sport as well. I know people might prefer traditional or, let's say, conventional match racing, or maybe you like fleet racing, or maybe you like dinghies, or maybe you like sports boats, but this is the type of sailing that we can share with a wider audience. And if we can do that and get on board and all get everybody excited about it, we've got a potential to bring more sponsors in to more levels of our sport. So I'm pleading with you, get on board, get excited, and be an ambassador for sailing while this cup is on, because that's literally where the buck stops. So yeah, here ends the message. But I'm going to show you my question. I'm not sure if you saw my question, Tor, from the press conference yesterday.
Yes, I did.
You
I
did?
saw it.
Yeah, there's also a bit of history steeped in the America's Cup, and as an Aussie, I'm an avid historian of the Cup as well. So I kind of tied that together with a little bit of a question for everybody, and then I'm going to show the VNR with Pete Burling, because he didn't get a chance to answer the question during the actual press conference, but he did answer it in the interviews afterwards. So here we go with the press conference.
Cool.
Nick Douglas.
Hi guys, Douglas from Adventures of a Sailor Girl. As you said the other day, Jimmy, you believe you're the underdog, and as Aussies, we love a good underdog story. The last time we saw the cup all tied up at 3-3 was Australia 2 versus Liberty, which was a changing point for the cup. With the history tied up in this competition and the weight of both Italy and New Zealand on your shoulders, a question for everyone: how are your teams dealing with or using this energy or pressure to push your teams to a point where you can break the tie, so to speak?
Jimmy can start. Jimmy's first.
Okay, I'll start. Well, I think first of all, it's awesome to see the scorelines all squared up. I mean, from a spectacle, a sporting event, it's fantastic. It's also, I think every single day you talk about the pressures and the teams getting ready, and honestly, it's just an amazing opportunity for everyone that we can really go out there and race, because we know back in Italy, they're in a lockdown. You know, they're going through some tough times, as are a lot of places in the world right now. So the fact that we can go out there and have upwards of almost 2,000 boats, people out partying and spectators, it is a very big privilege, and we don't take that for granted. But we're also, you know, we're pushing as hard as we can. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool fact that you mentioned about back in the 80s and Australia 2 and Liberty, and there's some great history. And look, let's hope this one goes down as one of the great fights again on the water. But look, we're very lucky to be out here every day, and we wake up in the morning, we think, man, how good a day is it? We get to go out against the best team in the world and fight for the cup.
Thank you. Good question.
I can only add that as far as you may think that there is an agreement between the teams, there is not. We have no agreement. We want to do the break anytime.
It's not rigged.
It's not rigged.
It's not rigged.
I love it.
Yeah, well, no one expected this. No one expected this.
No, exactly. And after I show Pete's snippet, I'm going to show another snippet and see if they've been watching our show tour. I think it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Race one's incredibly important. You know, I think something that obviously gives us confidence today is that, you know, we managed to keep the first race relatively tight. You know, I think they probably had a pretty similar lead across the start line to what they did at the finish, and, you know, it seemed like when we did get ahead in that second race, we really managed to extend. So, you know, we're really happy with how the boat's going, and, you know, it seems to be getting faster every day, and we find new little ways of improving our technique, improving the ways we're doing things to get a bit more performance out of it. Yeah, we're really happy with the boat we've got. You know, and it's just really learning how to use it and get the best out of it. You know, it's no secret in match racing that, you know, it really helps to get off the line, and, you know, I think both races today, the race had almost been decided by the pre-start. You know, it was really down to one team to make a mistake from that point, and, you know, I think what we've got is a really close yacht race, and, you know, it's definitely shaping up to be a pretty interesting series. Oh, it's just incredible. You know, it's something that, yeah, you just love to be able to race against the best team in the world in front of your home fans on your home bit of water, and it's pretty cool to be able to get out there and, you know, sail every day. You know, I think the Italians summed it up. There's so many places in the world that are in massive lockdowns at the moment, going through some pretty tough times. So, to be able to have an event like this in a COVID-free environment's pretty incredible for a Kiwi like myself to be competing in. And I think we're also incredibly proud to be racing on home waters. Marine conservation is a massive passion of mine as well. So, to be able to see that many Kiwis out there enjoying the ocean and enjoying a water sport's pretty cool also.
So yay, he did get to answer it. It was just a little bit afterwards. So it was exciting too, because I can't imagine how much pressure the Kiwis are feeling right now, too. Because as you said, when they win, it's amazing, but when they lose, it's devastating to the whole country.
Yeah. It's funny, and I actually had something I forgot to tell you about. I was speaking to one of the designers at Emirates Team New Zealand yesterday, and I hadn't really thought about it that much because we just kind of moved on to the next race. But the day before yesterday, when that first start was postponed because there was a spectator boat on the course. I don't know if you saw it, but the Kiwis were winning that start, I think.
Yeah.
And when you think of it like that, that could have cost them the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Little things like that. Spectator boat getting in the way. I think it was a $1,000 fine. It should be a bit more than that with all the money the team's put in.
Yeah, it should be like $500,000 or something just to really stop it from happening, which is really, really interesting. So but that answer from Jimmy and that answer from Pete Burling, and then saying that it's actually really a privilege to be racing against the best in the world while other people are in lockdown and to be equal scores. Yeah. I mean, we've got someone else on our team who's been predicting this the whole time, Tor,
Yes, we do.
I am waiting for you to twig.
She's wise.
She's very wise, this
Hi everyone,
girl.
Tor here for Adventures of a Sailor Girl. I've got a little fan here who is getting behind one of the teams today. What's your name?
Poppy.
And who do you want to win today, Poppy?
The mountain's top.
Can we overuse that clip, Tor? Can we overuse it?
No, I don't think we can. She's just the cutest.
She is the best.
She is just the cutest.
And that's why we're all astounded that it's 3-3. I mean, it's only ever happened in 1983, but we've never seen the Cup go play by play ever. It's never gone 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. That's new history. So,
that was the last time it happened was 10 years before I was born, so I've literally never seen it like this.
Yeah, exactly. But even in 1983, it got to 3-3, but it was 3-0. And the Australians came back from 3-0. Yeah. So it's never been 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. This is the first time. We have seen it 6-6. 7-7 in 2013 in San Francisco. So, because that was first to 8. So, it's mind-boggling how close it is. And we've seen the Cup close before, but maybe not play-by-play. So that's why I'm saying everybody, whether you think the racing is or isn't boring, the psychology, the history, the importance of the America's Cup to our sport is what's exciting. So I think that there's no way you can't be excited about it, basically.
Yeah, and if it had just been a walkover by one of the teams, it's not interesting for new teams that might. Well, it is interesting, but it's not as interesting as this is. New teams wanting to get involved. It's so cool. If next time we had 4, 5, 6 teams in the Challenger Series, it would just be awesome.
It would be incredible. I would love that. And
another thing, an interesting thing to think about, and if you kind of start to pick apart the racing a little bit, I think that one of the potentials is that Emirates Team New Zealand are a little bit race rusty, and maybe they if they'd had a few more races at some point, then they would have been better. So, I mean, should they have put themselves in the Challenger Series? I don't know.
Ooh,
what would the outcome have been there? It would have been very, very interesting, especially now we're seeing them lining up here when we thought they were so much faster. yeah, maybe it wouldn't have been guaranteed for them to go all the way through. But more racing can only be good for them, right?
100%. And that's a really interesting point because Oracle Team USA put themselves in the Challenger Series in Bermuda. Obviously, then the actual Challenger would go on to fight, and we saw Artemis Team New Zealand against Emirates Team New Zealand. Did I say Artemis Team New Zealand?
Yeah, Artemis.
Artemis Racing from Sweden versus Emirates Team New Zealand in Bermuda. But that's a good point because pretty much they're saying now all the time, we're a bit rusty, we're chipping off the rust, their tacking practice is happening during racing effectively. I think that's spot on.
Yeah. And, there was definitely, there would have been room for it and there would have been the thirst for it. The Kiwis would have loved it as well because if you think about it, really, except from the Christmas Cup, the Kiwis have only actually got to see their home team racing these last few days.
Yeah.
So, yeah. From that point of view as well, if they were racing during the Challenger Series, they might have got more interest and more Kiwis involved as well. Because for the whole time, it's just been like, oh, are the Kiwis fast? Oh, we don't know. And that's where all the talk came from, that they were so much faster because they were watching, but we hadn't actually seen them line up, so we didn't know. Whereas maybe if we knew, everybody would have been a bit more level playing field, but maybe the Kiwis might have been able to use their slight edge with some more time racing, not just out on the water.
Do you know what I find funny with the America's Cup Tour is that we spend so much time speculating and then we spend so much time looking at it in hindsight. There's only like a little window where we actually get to experience it. So I think that's where we really have to get on board and experience it while we actually can. There's plenty of time for hindsight. We've had plenty of time for speculation. Yeah. Now we can actually get into it in the mix. So I think we're going to...
I mean, it's because it's...
Yeah, keep going.
Every 4 years or so. Yeah. It's every 4 years, and we all love it so much, and then it just feels like it's been and gone in 5 minutes, I know. I know it's not finished yet, but...
Yeah, no. I'm totally with you, and I totally get it. So I had somebody ask me what the temperature was, Tor. I said 30. It looks about 30. How hot is it?
Oh, yeah. Well, you might have seen that I've just come and stood under a tree because it's so hot.
We kept talking, so that was quite funny. But for anyone who's interested and wants to stay tuned while the racing is on, I will be on Facebook and I post updates there after every race. I'm on Instagram posting to my story. I'm also tweeting live play-by-plays on Twitter. You can come on Clubhouse and listen. If you need an invite to Clubhouse, please let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, it's so great to have you joining me. I've had a lot of Italians joining on YouTube, so a big shout out to them. And I'm trying really hard to say Kiko. Kiko. How do I say Kiko?
Kiko.
Apparently I don't say it properly. So I'm trying really hard. I'll ask Marco on Clubhouse today, my Italian co-commentator, to correct me so I can do that a bit better for you all. So I am trying very hard, and apologies for not being better, and I will get better, I promise. But yeah.
Just run with Bruni.
Yeah, I'll run with Bruni. I had him on the show, and for those who are watching on YouTube and you are from Italy, I have actually done a one-on-one with Kiko as well. So you can find that out. So you can find that and watch it while everything's happening today. Tor is in the village today, so we might get some action from her as well, which would be fantastic. And maybe you'll...
yes, definitely.
Maybe you'll have to join us on the show tonight, Tor, and we'll see what's going to happen with this incredible racing today.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I know. About an hour to go now. So effectively, we're counting everybody into the action. I mean, what are you hoping for today, Tor?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm hoping for some racing.
Step one.
Oh, I don't know. Another draw? You keep this going? Yeah. I'm not sure. It seems a little bit I know it's the way it works, but it seems a bit unfair for it to go to 6-all, and then it's just the person who wins the next race. But at the same time, I like the suspense of not knowing.
Yeah, me too. I really like the suspense of not knowing and not knowing who to cheer for. And my heart rate is sitting at about 110 as always. It was 108 yesterday actually, so that was a bit better than 110 for most of racing with my setup. I don't know if my setup's in the mix. I think you were laughing at me this morning at my setup, which is next level.
Oh yeah, on it. You're real on Instagram with. What did you have, like 6 or 7 screens on there?
Wow.
Yeah,
I'll put it up now.
Yeah.
I've got it. Here we go. Oh my gosh. This is me on Twitter, Clubhouse, and 30 seconds to go. Prada's popped up on the foils. Ooh, 25 seconds to go. There you go, 6 screens.
Wow.
Yeah, my poor family.
Well, I plus the one that's videoing you as well.
Yeah, that's Andrew going around the back. What a legend. Videoing me as I've taken over the lounge room. I have the port entry, the starboard entry, the main broadcast, Twitter, Clubhouse on one leg and Facebook on the other leg, just so that I can stay up to date with all you guys too, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I've just got one more clip for you, Tor.
Yep.
Oh no, where's her sound?
No sound.
Stop. She's muted. We can't mute her, but I think
what were you going to say? Who's racing today?
Yeah, exactly. Who's racing today? It's so good. But I mean, you'll be in the village all day.
Yep. Well, I'll get you some clips. You'll get the vibe. It's already getting busy down here. People are getting their seats in front of the big screen at the silo park.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to head down to the main village. Well, not the main village, the main stage. And check out what's going on there. It looked on the TV. It looked like you basically couldn't even get a seat. There are so many people down here, so that's pretty cool.
That is very, very cool. And we will have racing in approximately 1 hour and 12 minutes if it stays to schedule. As we've mentioned all show, and if you've just joined us, looking very light in Auckland. As you can see there, it's absolutely beautiful and sunny, but they're under a big high pressure system. And the sea breeze is basically the only hope that we have of racing today. But racing is between 2 boats, and I'm wondering who we're meant to barrack for.
Who's racing the boats today?
New Zealand and Italy.
And who do we want to win?
Britannia.
But Britannia's on holiday now, isn't she? We want New Zealand to win. Say go, New Zealand.
No.
No.
No. So, well, it looked like there that Poppy wanted Italy to win, but I think she declared yesterday that she now wants New Zealand to win. So, I mean, I've got a Kiwi cap on today.
Yeah, you do.
And I've not got an Italian one yet. I need to scope one out.
I'm jealous of all your merch. I have this shirt on today. Thanks to Murray for sending me my own shirt. Look, it says Nick Douglas on it. Look at this.
Oh, amazing.
Nick Douglas. This is my Autism on the Water shirt. I've worn a black shirt every day so that I can try and be like Prada Emirates neutral. I do have my red socks on for Bob Fisher though. I'm just checking the actual wind readings at Takapuna for you, Tor. But yeah, I think you need to arrange an Emirates hat and a Prada hat and a Kiwi flag and an Italian flag so that you can be like...
I don't have enough hands.
Yeah, we'll have to just put the little stickers on
or
your
heads.
microphones. Put the stickers on your microphones either side.
Like this.
So it is 5 knots at the moment from the northeast at Takapuna, which is where the racetrack will sit, if I can get that map for you. So Takapuna is over to the left-hand side here, Rangitoto. So it's 5 knots from the northeast, and it's 25 degrees, Tor. So no wonder it feels warm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need a bit more heat to try and get that sea breeze to pick up and make us all happy. But I think we better get going, Tor, so you can go and find a nice spot and watch some racing. What do you think? Fingers crossed.
I need to decide whether we're going to be down here or up at the up on the main stage. I'm quite excited to see it. I think there'll be a mix of Italians and Kiwis up at the main stage because it's near the Italian base. So I think we might head there.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Tor, for chatting with us this morning and for all your insights, as always, from on the ground. And we hope you all have a great day. We're very jealous.
We wish you were here.
Oh, next time. Next time. Excellent. Big shout out
Next
to
time.
everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Tor. And let's see what happens. Can it be 4-4? What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm going to say yes.
We could finish the day tied at 3-3.
We could. Oh dear.
Realistically.
I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah, let's
I
hope for
hope
some
not.
racing. Excellent. This is Nick Douglas, Tor Tomlinson, your Sailor Girls, reporting on the 36th America's Cup. We'll see you later on to wrap up, hopefully, today's racing. See you soon.